Pokémon GO, Reshiram, Zekrom and Kyurem, what are the legendary 5th generation worth? Finally, new powerful legendaries on Pokémon GO. We were waiting for them. The 3 5th generation dragons have been officially announced and they will appear in 5-star raids from May 26th. Count on us to write timely capture guides. In the meantime, let's analyze these new legendaries thanks to what the game code reveals to us. Please note this information is likely to change before the official release, but it will still give us a good idea of the usefulness of the next legendaries. Reshiram, Pokémon GO, Reshiram, Zekrom and Kyurem, what are the legendary 5th generation worth? The first 5th generation legendary to appear is Reshiram and he will be in 5-star raids from May 26th to June 16th. Reshiram is a magnificent dragon, fire Pokémon, rock, ground and dragon weaknesses, and its statistics like its attacks are quite incredible. It is very likely to be useful. For statistics, Reshiram can go up to 4038 CP with 275 attack points, 211 defense and 205 endurance. Like that, these stats don't mean much, we'll see what they really mean in a moment. But be aware that this attack stat is colossal and that defensively, Reshiram is not bad either. In terms of rapid attacks, Reshiram will have access to Croc's Few and Draco Souffle. For charged attacks, we will be entitled to Blade of Rock, Draco Meteor, Overheat and Macoil. We ran combat simulators to compare the power of Reshiram to that of its competitors. For now, the fire Pokémon that has the best DPS, damage per second, is Dark Entei with the same duo of attacks as Reshiram, Fire Fangs and Overheating. Well, know that Reshiram almost matches it, and without obscure form. Let it be clear, what this means is that as a pure fire type, Reshiram is almost twice as powerful as a Daramacho or a Sulfura. It is simply monstrous. If these stats remain the same, Reshiram will be the new best fire attacker in the game. Regarding the dragon type, Reshiram will certainly be able to be played, but the dragon type has so much legendary overpowering that Reshiram does not crush all the competition as it can on the fire type. Zekrom, Pokémon GO, Reshiram, Zekrom and Kyurem, what are the legendary 5th generation worth? Did you think Reshiram was a hard-to-match monster? Well, Zekrom has exactly the same statistics as him, he just replaces the fire type with the electric type, ice, ground, dragon, fairy weaknesses. For quick attacks, Zekrom has access to Loaded Ray and Draco Souffle. For charged attacks, he can have Luminocanon, Anger, Macoil and Eclair Fu. With such attacks, it will be very complicated to make it fall into a raid. But once captured, Zekrom will be a truly formidable ally. If his stats and attacks don't change, Zekrom becomes the best electric attacker in the game, by far. Before, Raikou firmly occupied this place thanks to his 241 attack points. Note that going from 241 to 275, Zekrom does about 1.5 times more damage per second than him. It's just huge. As with Reshiram, Zekrom is also very strong on the dragon type, but it widens the gap less. Especially when a beast like Kyurem exists. Kyurem after the dragon, fire and the dragon, electric, make way for the dragon, ice, combat, rock, dragon, steel and fairy weaknesses. Kyurem is even stronger than the other two. This Pokémon exists in 2 forms, one black and one white. The black form seems to be the better of the two, but both forms have the same monstrous stats and white Kyurem's attacks can be very interesting. We already have a very good example of powerful alternative forms with Giratina. For PvP fans, you can be sure that the Master League will be turned upside down. If he does not get nervous before his release, Kyurem can have up to 4605 CP, 310 attack, 183 defense and 245 endurance. You have already seen how huge 275 attack points is. Imagine what 310 points can do. For its quick attacks, Kyurem Noir will normally have access to Griffomber and Draco Q. At the level of charged attacks, we will be entitled to Lame de Rock, Blizzard, Tete de Verre and Anger. Kyurem Blanc will have access to Draco Breath and Steel Wings in rapid attacks and Blizzard, Exploforce, Draco Shock and Ancient Power in charged attacks. As you can imagine, Kyurem becomes not only the best ice attacker, but also the best dragon attacker in the game. For the ice type, with Draco Q and Blizzard, Kyurem Noir is almost 3 times more powerful than Mamachon, the current best representative of this type in raids. On the dragon type, with its double, stab, Draco Q, Anger, Kyurem is so strong that it becomes almost absurd. A Rayquaza with the same attacks as Kyurem does almost 2 times less damage per second. And Rayquaza is currently the best raid attacker against the dragon types. The 3rd generation Master of Heaven is slightly overtaken by Reshiram and Zekrom and completely crushed by Kyurem Noir. Keep in mind that all this is likely to change. This has already been seen in the past with the alternative form of Giratina, which seemed much more extraordinary than it is today when the game code was revealed by the data miners. In any case, even after a nerf, we now have an idea of how useful these Pokémon will be in both raids and PvP.